Good morning, everyone. In this recording, I am talking in detail about the types of functions. By now, we did two types of functions on the basis of the arguments. I hope by now the word argument and parameter is clear to all of you. And as you all know that these two words can be used interchangeably. Whenever we talk about parameters, we are actually talk about formal and actual parameters. And when we are talking in terms of arguments, they are again formal and actual arguments, or sometimes we call the formal parameters as parameters and actual parameters as arguments. So now I'm going to start a new topic today, and on that basis we will be studying four types of functions. To explain these all functions in detail, let's learn the new topic, which is return statement. Now let's see what is return statement. Return statement is used to exit a function and go back to the place from where it was called. Now let's read it slowly. It is used to exit a function. Up to this much of the statement, you can compare return statement with break statement. As break is also used to terminate the rest of the loop body, same here, return statement is used to exit the function body. Whenever a function body encounters a return statement, a return keyword, it will exit the function and it will bring the resultant value of the function at the calling place of the function. I am saying again that return statement will carry the resultant value to the calling statement. Now let's see how. Because of this return statement, now again we are dividing the functions on two parts. First, a function which returns some value. They can be termed as non-void. And second, a function which is not returning any value. The other word of that type of function is void function. Now let's see the practical implementation of all these types. So by the involvement of the return statement, we are having four types of functions with us. First, a function with no argument, no return value. Second, a function with no argument, but it is going to return some value. Third, a function having arguments, but again it will not return value. And the last one is a function which will have arguments as well, and it will return certain value also. So let's see all these types of functions with practical example. The very first type of function is a function with no argument and no return value. This is a very simple type of user-defined function, but it is rarely used as it does not have much of sense. In this example, I have written the function body in blue color and I have used green color for the calling statement of the function. So I will guide you to read the program the way they will be executed step by step. So the moment I will start reading the program, firstly I will come to def. Now after getting the keyword def, I will not execute the function body. I will directly move on to the calling statement or any statement outside the function body. As I don't have any other statement, just getting the def keyword, it will directly move on to the calling statement. Now here it has got the calling statement, it will move back to the function body and now it will execute the Python statements which are there in the function body. So this is a very simple program of addition having two values and printing that. Now you can very well see it is a kind of program, it is a kind of function in which I have told you to take two values and display the sum. This is what we are doing in this type of function. Now let's see the another type. This is the second type of function, a function which is having no argument but it returns some value. Now see how it returns some value. Again, at the time of reading the program, as it got def, it will directly come to this statement by ignoring the function body. Now as it got this statement outside the function body, it will surely print sum is, and now after sum is, it has got the calling statement of the function. As we know, the moment it will get the calling statement, it will move back to the function body and execute all the Python statements which are there in that function body. So as it counters add, as this function invokes, it will move upwards to see the function body of the same function. Now it has got two values of the two variables. It will get the sum, and now here is a new keyword, that is return. You can take an example here, a layman example, that in this case I have told you to find the sum of two numbers and give that resultant value back to me. So when I am saying that you find the sum of two numbers and display it also, this means I am talking about a function which is not returning any value, because you are computing the sum and you are displaying also. But in this type of function, you are computing the sum, and after the computation of the sum, you are returning that resultant value to the calling statement. So in this statement, we are actually displaying the sum, the resultant sum which I got from the function body, and that is what, 30. So as we can see, this is our output. There is no difference in the output of both the programs. Both programs will give us the same output. The only difference is in their formation, in their level of execution. That is the only difference. These type of functions are also rarely used because we are not taking any parameters. That means the value of sum will remain same. So these type of functions can be used where you want to have a variable with a definite value. For example, you can use this function by fixing the value of pi. As we know, the value of pi will remain same 3.14. So these type of functions can be used at that kind of situation. So again, read this program. In this program, it is computing and then returning back to the calling statement. Now, you can assume that your ma'am is here in this print statement and you are returning the sum back to me, as I told you to compute and hand over the resultant value to me. Now it will be my responsibility to print it. So this is a basic difference. In the above example, you were printing, computing and printing both. But in this example, you are just computing, and at the time a function body encounters return, it will exit this function there only with the resultant value of sum. So after the execution of this function, it will be returning 30. So this calling statement will be replaced by the value 30, and that is what we got in the output. Now let's see the third type of function. In this type of function, we are going to study a function with argument and no return value. Again, we already did this. In this, we are having two arguments. 10 will be copied to x, and same is the case with 20 will be copied to y. And as this function is not supposed to return anything, that means it is the responsibility of the function to compute and display as well. So that is why print statement is here in the function body. We are already familiar with this type of function. Now let's begin with the last fourth category of the function. In this fourth type of function, we are going to pass the arguments and the function will return certain value as well. This is the most prominent use function type. In this function, again, at the time of reading the function, you can say that it has got the def statement, so it will directly move on to z. Now here in z, it will, as z is equal to, shows that this z is going to store some value. From where did this z will get certain value? By the calling of this function. So as we will call this function, because of the parameters 10 and 20 copied to xy, this function will return 30. So I can say that this add 20 will be replaced by 30, and that would be assigned to z. So in the last statement, we are going to print the resultant sum. So here we are using the arguments, and same way, it is not your responsibility to display the sum. Your thing in the function body, your role in the function body is to return the sum only. And again, it will be the responsibility of the calling statement to print the sum. So by now, I am over with all four types of functions. Please do them, read them, and after that I will be sending you the further assignments. Thank you.